A few years back, I was watching this sci-fi movie called In Time. And the basic premise was the rich people would live forever while the poor people would die young. They had a clock built in. I think it would expire when they hit 25. And the way they would get paid is for their work is in time. They would extend the clock. But I think even at 25, they would die. So the movie was actually really good. I don't want to spoil the premise, but the main character is gifted like a century of lifetime by one of the wealthy individuals, and there's like this timekeeping police force in place that is on a mission to find him and reclaim that time back, because it's a gift that wasn't meant to be given to the poor. So I'll put a link to this movie in the description later, just so you can see it. It's definitely worth your time. I promise you, it's a fantastic flick. So this movie really made me think about how we live our lives, because we're all on this perpetual grind, working hard every day with this promise of a retirement at some point in the future, maybe a brief moment of rest, and then we simply pass away. That movie triggered something in me to want to optimize my life for time, right? Find a way to play this game in such a way as to gain the time back. And being a data geek that I am, I wanted to build some sort of spreadsheet model that would at least approximate the variables involved in this game of life, this equation. Maybe there would be some hidden meaning that I could discover, or some hidden relationship in there that would help me figure out how to think about reality, what to do next, so that I could gain control back over my time. Anyway, let me show you the spreadsheet I keep mentioning. So what you're seeing here are these variables that I keep bringing up. I have sleep, which is the amount of time you sleep, interest, so like free time, the time that you get to spend on your hobbies, the things that you like, working time, obviously, and then income and expenses. And for the purpose of this illustration, the income and the expenses are kind of low numbers, just so that the lines appear on the chart closer to each other. That way it's easier to see how things correlate. The two variables on the side are time lost and working days. The assumption is time lost is like commute time. So during the 260 working days, we spend on the average 3 hours commuting, back and forth, and so that's just time lost. So the formula for free time, interest, is simply take all the hours in the year, subtract time lost commuting, time lost working, and time lost sleeping. And the difference is this right here. Okay, so I want you to look at the chart real quick, and on the chart, time spent on interesting activities is in red. So this is your hobbies and activities you like. You can see it's 2,980 hours on the first year. Your income is really high, your expenses are super high, and then your working time is high, 2,080 hours, and then your free time is relatively low. It's almost the same as the sleeping time. And bear with me here, fast forward to year number 4. What do we see? We see that the expense as well as the income was cut in half. So instead of 12,000, we're making 6,000, and then instead of spending 10,000, we're spending 6,000. So whatever you bring in, you spend immediately. But what do we see? The red line, which is the number of hours you're spending on activities of interest to you, grew by almost 1,500. It's huge improvement, right? You see that number right here, 4410. But wait a minute. The amount of hours we're working has dropped to about half because we reduced the income by half. So therefore we reduced the number of hours working by half. But the key is the expenses. So now you see the relationship. And as I mentioned in part 1 of these series, it's going to be obvious to you. Of course, it makes sense that if you work less, you'll have more free time. However, what's not obvious is that you need to reduce your expenses to the point where you can drop the income in such a way as to gain that free time as a result. Okay, so what's the point of this spreadsheet? What am I trying to tell you? Effectively, avoid lifestyle creep. Reduce your expenses. That's the foundation for getting back control of your time. Now, some people look at this and they'll say, the glass is half empty. Others will say, the glass is half full. I say, get a smaller freaking glass. Just lower your expectations. Now, Naval Ravikant, it's the guy I mentioned. And I'll leave a link to his video. He was on Joe Rogan and he's quite popular. He's a little bit of an entrepreneur and a philosopher. Very interesting guy and definitely worth listening to. Okay, he has this very specific quote. I'm going to read this verbatim. People who are living far below their means enjoy a freedom that people busy upgrading their lifestyle just can't fathom. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the essence of the message I'm trying to share with you. Lower expenses is the key you need to unlock the ability to control your time. By the way, this entire channel has shortcuts, tips, practical guides, strategies designed to help you optimize your life, assuming time is the most valuable asset you have. In a way, it's to put you in control of the outcome. If you find this type of content helpful, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you found other ways you can optimize your time that you want to share with the rest of us? Now, I have come to realize that the only non-renewable resource we have is time. And we are the ones that should control it ourselves. The elites can work with us. They can have us participate and build the future. But your time is yours to own. We should not be forced to forsake our lives on the pursuit of meaningless material stuff. Ever changing phones, new cars, bigger homes? Why? You must be firmly in control of your time. Think about it for a second. You can always make more money, but there is no store where you can walk in and purchase more time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.